Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today and Tarot. My name is Mel Rose. This is the Tarot portion and the second half of my daily astrology vlog, which you can check out on my other channel, Astrology Today with Mel Rose. Over there, you'll find a description of the day's astrology as I have spelled it out here. Here, I will discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page, and then I will play another card that, in the context of today's astrology, may just give us something more to think about. So let's get into it. The card that currently sits on the side of the page is the Three of Pentacles, and it's here for a reason. It's here because it corresponds in astrology with the second 10 days or the second decan of the sun's transit here in the land of Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is an earth sign, and pentacles in tarot, those little stars with the circles around them, those are that represents earth element symbolism in tarot. So earth element symbolism is really just about the physical resources you have and what you're willing to do with them to create a sense of security and stability and support in your life. Okay, so one physical resource we all have is our body, right? So it's sort of, what are you willing to do with your body? What are you willing to do with your brain? What are you willing to do with what you have to generate some income? That's another level of having physical resources. And when you generate income, then you can get the things that you like, love, and can't get enough of, right? So here we have the Three of Pentacles, and this is a card that is very much about teamwork, collaboration, building things with other people. Okay, people come together with different skills and sort of different even outlooks on life, perhaps, and then they work together anyway for a greater cause, and the teamwork makes swift progress, and it helps us create something new that's not just supportive of ourselves, but is supportive of everybody in the group. It is supportive of all people. So sort of rather than just working for ourselves and being completely, what do I want to say, being 100% responsible for the outcome, right? It's nice to work with a team because, then we just come with our skills and we do our part and we let other people do their part. And then we make this progress so much more quickly, and we make progress in a way that's more beneficial to more people. So that's the benefit of teamwork, is not being 100% responsible and also getting things done more quickly so that we can have the support that we need. And with that said, okay, the Nine of Wands. So wands are fire element symbolism, and fire element symbolism has to do with drive, spark, determination, action. Okay, it's very action oriented. It's about moving forward. It's about wanting to see progress, make progress. There can be an element with fire element symbolism, a facet of fire element symbolism that has to do with restlessness, impatience, sort of irascibility, or what do I want to say? Impetuousness, which is sort of like being forceful, right? Moving forward at all costs, or moving forward without considering the costs, trying to move quickly and just get things done. So, Nine of Wands here is representative of being close to the end of our Wands journey. 10 is the end of the journey. So having come to 9, I think of each of these wands as kind of like a trophy or just a marker of an achievement for, that we've made, that we can, it's like this person has stood these things up as markers of what they've achieved so far, right? So that everybody can see it and they can be reminded of it too. And, they're holding up their last achievement in their hands. They look as though they might be getting a little tired, right? Of culminating all of these achievements, and they're pretty close to their goal too. So, there's this sense that I'm a little bruised, I'm a little tired, it might be a nice time to take a break, but I just have a little more ways to go. And so I'm just going to go ahead and finish this job. I'm going to keep doing it, right? So for the picture for me often comes across as defensive, but if we're being defensive of anything, it's almost like we're defending ourselves against the desire to quit when it's not time to quit yet, right? We feel like it should be time to quit, but we know, we have to employ a little extra resilience, a little bounce back, a little stamina. We have to give ourselves a little bit more energy based on the fact that we know we don't have much further to go, so that we can just complete our cycle here. So that's, that fiery vibe is very much, somewhat impatient, actually. It's a combination, an interesting combination of defensive and impatient, right? So where do we see that here on the page today? Defensive and impatient. Well, I see the moon in a square to Neptune today, and that's not so much defensive as it is I would just like to be doing anything else than besides what I what I am doing. That there is a little bit of that vibe to the Nine of Wands, like I'd like to be done now. Can I just, maybe I'm stopping to daydream here for a moment as to like what it is going to be like when I'm done with this, because this person is looking backward. They're certainly not in forward motion. They're just getting ready to go ahead and take those steps in the forward direction anyway. And, I see Sun square to Chiron here. That can be a little bit of an impatient and yet restless vibe, because, the Sun is a fire element, but it's in Capricorn. So, what we want is to develop strategies for getting security in our life, for having the things that we need and desire. Develop strategies for building, something, a structure for ourselves that will stand, a structure or a network for ourselves that will stand strong over time. And Chiron is down here in Aries, asking us to work on sort of healing ourselves and our relationship to others, healing ourselves especially, and our relationship to the social sphere, which the Sun is very much about the social sphere. So there's a little bit of a rub here where it's like, yes, we still have healing to do. We've been healing these social wounds. We've been looking back on them. Chiron was even retrograde for a while, so we were noticing what we had healed, and that's a lot of achievement, right? And then we were also seeking to let down some of the defenses that we had put up before we had healed, right? So that we can be more open and available to take care of business in the outer life here. But they're square together, so that's a really challenging position. It's almost like in our outer life, we see where our behavior needs to change. We see where we might be sort of coming to the end of one way of acting out in the world. And, we're used to acting that way, and it's worked really well for us so far. But Chiron is down here saying, yeah, that's almost over though. You're going to have to do something else. Okay. One of the things that really stands out to me between these two cards is like, this person is very much, I'm going to go it alone. And if you know somebody with a very fiery personality, they do tend to be somebody who's just like, you know what, I don't have time to collaborate. I know how this needs to get done. I have an idea about how I would like to see it done, and so I'm just going to go ahead and take care of it. And look, all this work that I did, and I didn't even need any help, right? But it's a little bit lonely, right? This person is 100% responsible for the complete accumulation of their goals, the completion of their goals, because they did not collaborate with other people, okay? And they're sort of looking back on this, and it almost looks a little bit like jealous, like, oh, I see, you guys worked together and you got so much more done than I did, right? Look, you guys are complete and I'm only near completion. I still have more work to do, and it's all on me to do it because I didn't want to collaborate with anybody. I know my voice sounds strange. I'm a little sore-throated today. Thank you for bearing with me. So, again, it's the collaboration versus the non-collaborative way of being, okay? Saying you can achieve very much, but you might be tired at the end. You might have to be pushing yourself at the end, and you are 100%, you know, responsible for the outcome when you've taken on the task to do it yourself. Okay, so and ask yourself which is going to stand stronger and longer. This, you know, this bundle of sticks that you've stacked up behind you that say, "Look at all that I've accomplished," or this archway that these three people built together of stone, right? So, you know, we're feeling that rub right now. We're like, okay, I see. Maybe I should have collaborated. Maybe my social wounds, my old embarrassments, my general, you know, hatred of humanity, has gotten in the way of my ability to cooperate with people and get the work done more quickly and in a more sturdy fashion, right? You know, I see that perhaps I'm only benefiting myself and I'm working harder than I need to, just because I don't want to have to interact with people in this way. But obviously, if I can learn to collaborate, like I'm interested in meeting some goals over here, Sun and Capricorn. I'm interested in knowing what steps I have to take, knowing who I have to work with, who I have to talk to get myself to the place where I'm going. Okay, this is the time to be talking with other people. Mercury retrograde, not just talking to other people, but listening to the expertise of other people, okay? So that you don't have to be the expert in everything on your own, which, you know, often involves a lot of learning as you go, right? Whereas in this situation, you don't have to necessarily learn as you go. You just have to show up and do the part that you know how to do, having listened and having negotiated the plan forward. So, you know, if you're at this point of near completion right now and you've done it all yourself, kudos to you. Very good job. And if you're, you know, you still have a little bit of a way to go, it's okay to go ahead and finish that work up on your own. It's also okay to turn to somebody that you know can help you and say, hey, I have a little bit of work left to do on this thing and I am just so tired. You know, can I get a little assistance, you know? And somebody will be happy to assist you, and then you will have at least made light work of that last step of the way to you know, culminating your goal. So your larger overall big term goal, right? Big term. Okay, so yes. And then the lesson is in the future, you know, because I'm almost at the end of this journey. In the future, I think I'm going to think about collaborating. I'm going to think about seeing what other people think and seeing what other people can do to help me. Okay, I think that's all I have to say about it today, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate your presence here. My name is Melrose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today and Tarot.